Hi there! Today we're going to talk about economies of scale, and be sure to check out our other video regarding economies of scope. So, what is an economy of scale? Essentially, an economy of scale is a company's growth causes its unit prices to decrease. Really, that's it. So, it's a little bit more complex when we dive into it, but essentially, as a company grows, usually the unit price falls. However, that is the economy of scale, but the opposite can be true as complexity grows, which is called a diseconomy of scale. I know, a very unique word, right? So, how do we get our economy of scale equation flowing here? We need to take the total cost over the total units, but how do we get the total costs? Well, we need to have our total units already over here, and we also need to know our variable cost. Now, mind you, the variable cost is going to be different than your total variable cost. As you notice, there are two different variables here. I know they're not as distinctive as they should be, but bear with me, we'll get through this. Okay, so we have our variable cost. We need to multiply that by the unit amount, which is going to be 10 times by $2 in our situation to produce a 20. Now, same here, 20 times by 2 is going to be 40, and 50 times by 2 is going to be 100, etc., etc. I think you get the point. Our total cost here is going to be the fixed cost plus the total variable cost. So we have 30, 50, 110, 210. And if we run all these numbers through our equation over here, total cost over the total output or units, we're going to end up with a 3, 2.5, 2.2, and 2.1. I hope you're following along so far. Now just remember that an economy of scale is as the business grows, the prices per unit reduce. As you can see here on this chart, we go from 3 down to 2.1. But as complexity starts to make things more complicated, we end up with a diseconomy of scale and the price starts to go up. All right, let's take a break real quick and we'll take a look at an example using various businesses to see which one is the most efficient. So, I've filled this in for us here, and our examples are a little bit extreme, but you'll follow along and understand what I mean here in a second. Our companies are going to be company X, Y, Z, and company potato, of course. I mean, I'd put in bacon, but some people are vegan. So, if we have an output of 500 in company X and the fixed cost is 10,000, the variable cost for each of them is a fixed $3, and our total variable cost is 1,500. Eventually, what we do with the math that we already did earlier is come to a cost per unit of 23. So, company X it's doing pretty good, it's pretty efficient, and it's reaching a good level of economy of scale, right? But our best one here is company potato. Of course, potato's got to do the best. Now, it's producing also the most amount of units, and as you can see, because it's reduced its fixed cost and its variable cost might be higher, we are still getting a really good return for our money. So you can kind of see with this information, take it down, take some of this information down, your variable cost, and you can fill in the graph for yourself as well, so you can get yourself some practice with this. But yeah, economies of scale, that's pretty much it. As you get your production increased, you can reduce the cost per unit unless your complexity goes up too fast. Now, there are different types of economies of scale as well, essentially those that are affected by internal externalities, if you will, and external economies of scale, which are affected by things like clustering. So if you ever notice about the tech industry, they always have access to a whole bunch of different professionals and a whole bunch of different supporting facilities. That's called clustering. So Silicon Valley would be a cluster. Infrastructure is another good one for logistics company, for example. If a particular state has developed a really good transportation system, like a bullet train underground, magnetic train, well, these companies would all benefit from it within that industry of logistics. Education is a really big one, national, regional, local. If you are producing a lot of very educated individuals in your area, well, education is going to affect your industry, depending on what industry you're in, of course. And having access to research and development facilities can also be a big difference for an industry such as technology or even science, or it could be a wide array of things. Now, about internal economies of scale, there is the buying economy. The buying economy buys in bulk or bulk prices, so it specifically benefits from buying large amounts of items. The technical internal economy of scale typically ends up using specialized equipment or professionals, which reduces its overhead. A marketing, obviously, marketing. Network such as Verizon, for example, and financial. When you have a really big organization, you have access to more and also cheaper financial services. All right. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to hear them in the comments below, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions. So please like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications, and I wish you a wonderful time. Thanks for coming in. See ya.